Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Reluctant Nabi back again, and we're gonna deal with this. All right, and this isn't just Tupac's mom, but she is indicative in the 70s. What's been going on since the 70s to Afro men and our children, right? The Tupac's mom lied to him about his dad. Tupac's mom is the cause of the separation of he and his dad. But Tupac didn't know about this until later on in life when he had an incident. We'll cover those in videos coming up or in clips coming up. All right. But what I want you to understand is Tupac carried this lie with him through his music. And it took him to end up in a hospital as a result of being shot. And you'll see that, for him to understand that his mom lied to him about his father and about his life and all the rest of that stuff. And the same time she was lying to him about his dad, this man, Tupac, was deifying a mom who was a crack fiend because it was all he knew, because it was all she allowed him to know. But this isn't just the Tupac story. All right. This elevates to what's going on in the so-called black community right now. What black women have been lying on Afro men since the 70s in order to wield power and authority and brainwashing over their children. Why? To deify themselves before their children while villainizing the fathers before the children. Turns out that the man we come to know as Tupac's father is not only dead, but he is not the deadbeat we have come to believe. And so, here are the receipts. Now, before we get into this, let me remind you, get them thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Right? My PayPal me and Cash App will be in the description box. And if you can, this is a new channel, don't forget to hit them thumbs up. Just right down there to the right, okay? And if you are interested in information, me exposing all of this stuff, and I have a solution, and that is we must get passports and leave, right? And so the information that I'm exposing, right, that I'm bringing before you, it's not just me, it's stuff that we are figuring out collectively. So with that said, hit the subscribe and stuff like that. And tell me what you think about this in the comments section. All right? And brothers, share this. The real brothers, share this. All right, y'all, I want you to pay attention to this. And this is coming from Tupac's biological brother. All right, there's more to the story to tell, and the link to this video will be in the description box, the whole thing. All right, but I'm gonna just show you two parts of it, one now and one later on, because it shows the point of how devastating these lies are that black women have been telling about fathers in the Afro community.
Okay, my name is William Garland Jr. or Billy Garland, you know what I'm saying, Jr. Like you said, I go by the name Five Faces. And I'm Tupac's biological brother. We got the same father.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you on the channel, brother. I felt that it was imperative that I would have someone like yourself. I understand that, people know Mo Preem as being Tupac's brother, and I respect that, but he's Tupac's stepbrother. And the reason why I brought you on here, brothers, is because, like I said, I've talked to your father on many occasions. Most people believe that he's somehow deceased, but if you can clarify that for him, please.
Which is crazy, man. I know.
Brian Shane.
You can't. That just goes to show to prove, that you can't believe everything you hear and read on the internet,
Absolutely.
But no, my pops ain't dead. He's very much alive.
So now you see that Tupac's father is not dead. But if you still look at all of this, right? And if you still look at the black woman mantra, they're still sabotaging the relationship between father and sons with lies to this day. Remember that many of us believe the lie that came from the mother's mouth, all right? And most black women believed it and thought that the mom, who was a crack fiend, was, well, let's let Kevin Samuels break it down to this black woman.
Tupac wrote that song, Dear Mama. Remember that? Yes. Dear Mama. Tupac said, even you're a crack fiend, mama, you still a black queen, mama.
And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama.
He said, daddy didn't care.
Now ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy, cause the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry.
The fact it took the back way, such and so forth, blah, blah. Because, you know, his daddy wasn't in his life, right?
Right.
Right. Tupac wrote that song, Dear Mama. Remember that?
Yes.
Dear Mama. Tupac said, even you're a crack fiend, mama, you still a black queen, mama.
And even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was the black queen, mama.
He said, daddy didn't care.
Now ain't nobody tell us it was fair. No love for my daddy, cause the coward wasn't there. He passed away and I didn't cry.
The fact it took the back way, such and so forth, blah, blah. Because, you know, his daddy wasn't in his life, right? Right. Tupac got shot when he was out in New York 5 times.
His entire life, a lot of our moms did that to us. Why? Because they could get away with it. And black women to this day think that that is still an acceptable path. It's because when they lie to their sons deify them, and even though they're crack fiends, they make them queens and gods.
And when he was in the hospital, Tupac got a visit. You know who it was? His biological father.
I thought my father was dead for all my life. Except after I got shot, I looked up and there was this nigga that looked dead on me, and he was my father, so I found out.
Yeah, okay.
His mother had been lying to him his entire life. Afeni Shakur lied to Tupac. And Tupac found out that he had and his mother knew his father was alive. Tupac carried that hurt, that pain that he found out after he got shot. Conceivably, Tupac could have been killed before knowing his daddy was alive. And his daddy showed up and said, your mama didn't want to do. Then Tupac had to address his mother. She said to go ahead and admit. Go look at the story. Check it out yourself.
At first, Tupac's mum Afeni said she didn't know who his father was. Then she told him his father was dead. This is Tupac's biological father, Billy Garland. This is a picture of Billy and his wife, seen here with Tupac and his wife. I asked Billy when he'd lost touch with Tupac.
Understand this, Pac had a very bad life because of his mom, not because of his dad. But the mom gets all the credit that he blew up in acting and all the rest of that stuff. Even though he did that despite her, while being lied to. And just think, he is gone because he didn't have the advice and wisdom of an older man to tell him about snakes, like the snakes he was dealing with. You know, like O'Shea, as you know, Ice Cube had. Ice Cube schooled his father. Ice Cube's father schooled him, and Ice Cube left MWA over the contracts and warned them that they were getting screwed by those contracts. Y'all know the story. Okay, so I started looking into the story, right? And as I looked into this, I ran across this video, and the links to this video again will be in the description box so that you can see the entire interview. All right, so this is really, really bad when we look at the fake image of the Afro men versus the fake deification and glorification and queen crowning of the BW in the United States. Now, y'all read the article. Here's the story.
What I would like to get into first and foremost is when did you find out that Tupac was your brother?
Oh yeah, at an early age, like 6.
Like 6 years old?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
how did that transpire?
I don't remember everything in detail because, you know, I'm 6, but I do remember vaguely, you know, my pops came to the house. You know, I was living with my mom, you know, and he would come frequently, you know, on the weekends and get me and whatnot. And this one particular night, he came to the house, like, I just remember him like being extra excited and smiling and telling my mom that he thinks he just found his son, or saw his son for the first time on the Juice movie poster when Pac did the movie Juice, you know. Yeah, so my pops, I guess, you know, saw him on a poster, just happened to see him on the street somewhere, and realized like, oh shit, that's my son, you know.
Now, understand this impact. That woman kept the son and father separated because the courts allowed it. But this is a message to you, brothers. This is why we say, hell no, we don't mess with single mothers anymore. And this is why we need to start looking side-eye at most of these B-dubs when they have these children. Because a lot of times, a lot of them are hiding these children from their fathers.
No. And and he told my moms that. He told my moms that night. You know?
Wow, that's pretty cool, man. And so, I mean, I know you probably was 6 years old at that particular time, but yeah, that's crazy, man. I think that's very interesting. So, in you saying that, like I said, a lot of people have come to this thing about you know, Tupac father. They have this narrative of Mr. Garland, should I say? I always call him Mr. Garland out of respect, as not being there for his son. But you in particular, I just heard you say that your father would come pick you up. You were living with your mom, but your father would come pick you up. So what I want to ask you is, was Mr. Garland in your life like a father should be?
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? Was he the perfect father? You know what I'm saying? Who is? You know what I'm saying?
True.
But he wasn't the absentee father that people try to portray him to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's and honestly, that portrayal, the reason why he kind of has that bad rap with certain people is because of, truth be told, lies that were told. You know what I'm saying?
There you have it. Lies that were told is why people think negatively about a lot of Afro-men as fathers. Even when the stats come out to show that we make the best fathers, at least out of that white and Hispanics, the black women will still shout out the lying mantra that they made for us so that it makes them look good instead of the people that really destroyed family, destroyed the community, and the relationship between fathers and sons and fathers and daughters all over the place. Now, I want y'all to understand that this is why I say that there is no saving, there is no forgiveness for these type of lies. Look at the damage Tupac's hip-hop have done to the mentality of women that don't deserve to have this type of mentality. Alright? That don't need to be called queens. No, they don't deserve to be called queens. All these lies and destruction of family and separation of children from fathers, no queen, no deification. I tell you what though, brothers, it would behoove you to get passports and leave these women alone. For women, say like in the Philippines, who are looking for men that want to be fathers. Because they like to do the bound chicken wow wow. Because they value children and family way more than even the United States government do. Think about it. With that said, I'm out.